Hey guys, so this is a common problem that so many village banking groups will face, whether they are doing well or not so well, but most village banking groups will face this problem. Hey guys, welcome back. I am Matilda. I am so excited to have you here. So in today's video, I wanted to take the time to give us a chance to talk about a common problem that I know a lot of village banking groups face. Like you know, I belong to a village banking group and I know a number of people that do, and this is a common problem that they face. And if this is not you, well, tell me in your group what common problem you face and how you solve it. So guys, the number one problem that most village banking groups will face, and this is what actually gets village banking groups stuck at some point, is the problem of too much money. Yes, I said it. Too much money has become a problem for a number of village banking groups. Sometimes they don't know what to do with that situation, which is crazy because all of us want to see a problem like that. But if you belong to a village banking group, sometimes at a certain point before share out, it becomes a bit of a headache. And I'll explain to you why. Okay, so in a village banking group, like you saw in my previous videos, is that there is a cycle. Mostly it's about a year. Other village banking groups have about 6 months, but mine, it's a year. And towards the end of the year, usually they're called sunsets of the cycle, you find that people don't want to borrow for obvious reasons. They don't want to borrow for a short period of time and then have to pay back with the same interest. Usually for my group, I don't know about yours, it's about 10% or 20% interest depending on the length of time. So most people wouldn't want to take the risk. Imagine you want to borrow money, but there's only 1 month left before the end of the cycle. Would you want to risk it where you have to pay back the principal plus the interest within a month? So most people would rather just avoid borrowing money at that time. So you have all this money and you don't know where to take it. The village banking group is in its sunset. It's about to end. Nobody wants to borrow. How do you solve that problem? Initially, I wasn't so comfortable with it, but I do appreciate the fact that that's how our village banking group started out, and we actually go about it that way because I've learned a lot and I will share with you. So the first thing is that our village banking group, one of them actually, our village banking group was strong on the fact that we are not going to force borrow anybody. Yeah, force lend anybody. So nobody was going to be forced to borrow, which was hard because there was a cycle when we had a lot of money and we didn't know what to do. So then the situation of who's gonna keep it, no, the box keeper is gonna keep the money, but security is a problem. Sometimes, you know, I've heard of stories that somebody lost the money, whether they used it or whether somebody stole the money. Security is a problem. So this is how we solved it. For us, we decided that since we're not going to force borrow anybody, the first time we actually decided to say, can everybody save the minimum only? So this actually controlled the inflow of money where we had less money coming into the group so that our sunset would have the lesser risk. So if your minimum savings is 500 kwacha, you wouldn't save above. Everybody was saving the same amount, and then those that were servicing their loans were allowed to come and service their loans so that the person keeping the money would have less money to keep. But this still presented a problem for us. Number one is that the person keeping the money wasn't comfortable with having such huge sums of money with them for long periods of time, for obvious reasons. So in the next year, in the next cycle, we decided that since we don't want to do that, we are going to be a bit more courageous with ourselves and actually, wait for it, drum roll please, we actually decided to save our money in financial products. So what we started doing is we would lock up our money in fixed deposits when nobody borrows, and then also we would also buy things like treasury bills and different financial products. So what this did for us was that if people wanted to borrow in that particular month, the money was made available and the remainder was allowed to also gain interest by fixed depositing it or buying treasury bills. Now, if you don't know what treasury bills are, watch one of my videos on treasury bills and government bonds. They are basically a short-term investment where you do get a certain amount of interest. Now, I will tell you the interest wasn't the interest we are currently, we are used to when we borrow from ourselves, but it was something that allowed us to make an extra buck on our money. So it served two purposes. Number one, it allowed us to secure our money where we would keep it in a bank or in a financial institution without having to have sleepless nights like, oh my God, who's gonna steal, or things like that. Number two is that it allowed us to also gain a certain amount of interest. Now the interest wasn't huge, but it allowed us to think like investors. We were like, the money's not sitting, it is growing, and that's a good thing. So it allowed us to also grow our money automatically, stress-free, without having to worry about it being brought back. So guys, that is how we handled our problem of too much money towards the end of the cycle. I know for some of you, you have other ways you do it. So please share with me how you do it in your village banking group. And also, I would be interested to have a conversation with you so that you give me ideas and I share my ideas with you. So if you want to know more about village banking and its benefits, please comment in the comment section below so that I do a follow-up video. I did do one video, but I think I was still shy in front of the camera. Now I am more confident, if you can see. And you can still comment in the comment section below and give this a thumbs up. I'll be more than excited to share with you my experience. So guys, thanks for watching, and please remember to share, like, and subscribe to this channel.